Kia ora, it's Claire from Santulan Yoga. For today's specialist class, we'll be looking at tadasana or mountain pose. And this is a standing pose. We don't need any props. But if you do have some balance issues or some spinal issues, you might like to have a wall behind you for this posture. And all we'll do is just placing the feet at a comfortable distance apart. You can have the toes and the heels together, or you can have them about a fist width apart if that's more comfortable for the hips. And we'll grow tall up, starting up from the feet. So just making sure that we're standing evenly on both feet. So to achieve this, we'll just slightly bring our weight forward onto the toes. Get a sense of that sensation of being a little bit more far forward. And then slowly start to shift the weight to the back of the heels. You can even lift the toes up a little bit. Get a sensation of having that weight right onto the back of the heels. Coming back to the center and shifting the weight over to the right leg. Leaning over to the right. Get a sense of leaning in that direction. Back to the center. Bring the weight onto the left foot, leaning over to the left. Getting the sensation there, moving over to the left. And then we'll come back to the center. So we'll just do a few rotations of those movements. So we'll come forward onto the toes, over to the right, back to the heels, over to the left, back to the front, back to the left, back onto the heels, over to the right, and coming back to the toes. Right, now we'll start to come back to the center, and we want our balance even on all those 4 points. So just take a moment to find that perfect balance where our weight is even on all parts of our feet. Once you've found that spot, with the eye line, find a spot to focus on the wall. And starting from the feet, start lifting ever so slightly up from the inner ankles. So the inner parts of the foot and the inner part of the ankle. Growing tall through the calf muscles. Slightly straightening the knees, but do have a soft bend. We don't want to be locking our knees. Engaging the thigh muscles, growing tall through the thighs. Lifting up and out of the waist, through the right and the left part of the waist, and the front and the back of the body. Slightly tuck your bottom, your tailbone under, slightly pushing the hips forward. Keep lifting up through the ribs and the chest, opening up through the front of the chest. Roll those shoulder blades back and down, and opening the palms of the hands up so that they're facing the front. Growing tall through the spine, imagining you've got a string coming up through the top of your head and you're being lifted up from the top of the head. Nice and relaxed through the face. And if you feel comfortable, closing the eyes or finding that spot on the wall to focus on. We'll take a few breaths here. Feeling into the stillness and stability of tadasana. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Now you can stay here, or if you like, you can do a variation with the arms. Start bringing the arms up, bring the palms together, interlacing the fingers, and revolving those palms upwards towards the ceiling. Stretching the arms away from the body, pushing through the heels of the hands up towards the ceiling. But at the same time, trying to stay relaxed through the shoulders. Ideally, the backs of the hands should be right above the head. But if the shoulders are a bit tight and the arms are coming a little bit more further forward, then that's fine also. The main thing is that we're not flaring our ribs and creating a curve in the back to compensate. So keeping the spine straight, keeping the ribs tucked in, and if the arms need to come forward, then that's. And this can be quite intense in the arms. And it's not really a position that we normally keep our arms in, so they can get a little bit fatigued. One more breath here. And releasing the hands slowly. Bring the arms down slowly. Keep stretching those arms out to the left and the right. Keep extending the fingers. Slowly bringing those arms back down to the sides of the body. Give the arms a little shake if they need. Another variation we can do here is reverse prayer. So you may be used to placing the palms together into the chest in this direction. Reverse prayer is we're bringing the palms around to the back. Now, the first option for this is when we're bringing our arms around behind us, we can just bring the fists together. You can fold the arms over as if you're crossing your arms, or you can bring the palms together. So first option, With all the options, what we'll do is we'll bring the thumb pointing down towards the floor, bringing the arms back behind us, and then drawing those arms behind us towards the back. If you're doing a fist, just simply make a fist, in through the elbows, touching the fists together into the small of the back or the waist, and slightly pressing those knuckles together. Again, rolling the shoulders back and down, making sure those shoulder blades are stuck down to the back. Keep tucking the tailbone in, the bottom in. Keep those ribs coming in. We want the front and the back nice and straight, so no flaring and curving. Right, if that's comfortable, you can then move on to folding the arms, bringing opposite hand to opposite elbow. Again, roll those shoulders back and down. And if you'd like to try the reverse prayer posture, what we'll do this time is thumbs pointing down towards the floor. Bring the palms together, fingers pointing down towards the floor. Then bring the fingertips in towards the lower back. And keep rotating those fingers until the fingers are pointing upwards towards the ceiling. Then slowly wriggle those fingers and hands up as high as is comfortable. Again, rotating those shoulders back and down. This time pressing the pinky fingers in towards the back. And still pressing the palms of the hands together. So wherever you are, whether that's fists, arms crossed, or reverse prayer, we'll hold this for a few breaths. One more breath wherever you are. And slowly releasing the hands. Give those arms a little shake. Maybe give the legs a little shake as well. And there we go. That is Tadasana with a couple of variations with the arms.